Hi children, I hope you all are fine at home with your parents. Today we are going to discuss chapter 8 Natural Resources. Dear children, chapter number 7 has been already discussed in detail and various terms. In order to save time, we are going to actually omit the chapter 7 because you know the chapter in and out. That is the reason we are omitting. We know everything about the chapter. So, moving on, we are going to the next chapter, natural resources. So, children, what is resources? Resource means something that can be used to function effectively. Resources can refer to money, material, staff, or other assets. So, what do you mean by the word natural resources? Natural resources are earth materials used to support life and meet the needs of people. Natural resources include oil, coal, natural gas, metals, sand, air, sunlight, soil, and water. So, natural resources are not man made and are present in the earth in their natural form. So, resources provided by nature are called natural resources. That natural resources need to be converted into finished products so that they can be used by us. We use these natural resources in our daily lives. There are two types of natural resources, namely exhaustible resources or non-renewable resource and inexhaustible resources are renewable resources. So children, what do you mean by the word exhaustible? It means non-renewable resources are those which once used up are exhausted and are either not renewed by nature or renewed very slowly over millions of years. Examples are fuel like coal and petroleum. It means natural resources which are limited and reduced in quantity once they are used. Example coal, petroleum, etc. So, exhaustible means தீர்ந்து போகக்கூடியது. That means it's never renewed. What is inexhaustible? Resources are those that will either never run out or are constantly renewed by natural process. For example, water. Water is renewed by rain. Let's discuss about exhaustible resources. Natural resources are those which exhaust once they are used up, and such resources either do not renew naturally or get renewed extremely slowly over millions of years. And it is also known as non-renewable resources. Some examples of non-renewable resources are coal and petroleum. Let's see coal. Coal is a black or brownish black sedimentary rock that can be burned for fuel and used to generate electricity. It can be burned for fuel and used to generate electricity. And coal is classified as a non-renewable energy source because it takes millions of years to form. So, coal is a non-renewable energy source. Coal is formed from trees and plants that lived millions of years ago, were buried under the ground. the heat inside the air changed the decomposed trees over the centuries into coal. So, it changed the decomposed trees over the centuries into coal. So, children, what do you mean by the word decompose? It is the process by which dead organic substances are broken down into simpler organic or inorganic matter. It is the process by which dead organic substances are broken down into simpler organic or inorganic matter. It means to broken down physically and chemically by bacteria. A reaction in which a compound splits up into two or more simpler substances is known as decomposition reaction. A reaction in which a compound splits up into two or more simpler substances is known as decomposition reaction. Do you know, children? Coal is called black gold. So, coal is known as black gold because it is black in color and it is important in heavy industries. So, coal is known as black gold and it is mainly used for smelting iron and generating heat. It is mainly used for smelting iron and generating heat. And about 80% of the coal deposits. And one more interesting news. About 80% of the coal deposits in India are of bituminous types. So, 80% of the coal deposits in India are of bituminous types and non-coking type. So, coal is used for various purposes like cooking, heating, and producing electricity and in various industries. It used for various purposes like cooking, heating and producing electricity. Do you know, children? Coal mines are found deep under the earth's surface. So, we can get coal from mine. So, what do you mean by the word mines? A deep hole or holes under the ground where we get metals and minerals is called mine. So, a deep holes under the ground where we get metals and minerals is called mine. So, children, we get coal from mines. In India, coal mines are found in Jharkhand, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh. In India, we have few coal mines, namely Jharkhand, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh. Let's see petroleum. Petroleum is known as crude oil. So, petroleum is often called crude oil. Crude oil or petroleum is another important source of energy. And petroleum is found deep inside the earth and under the seabed. So, children, what do you mean by the word seabed? The ground under the sea. The ground under the sea. In Tamil, Kadarparappu. So, it is found deep inside the earth and under the seabed. Deep wells are dug to reach petroleum reserves. These are known as oil wells. So, what do you mean by the word oil well? Deep wells are dug to reach petroleum reserves. They are known as oil well. So, an oil well is a hole dug into the earth that serves the purpose of bringing oil. So, what is the purpose of oil well? An oil well is a hole dug into the earth that serves the purpose of bringing oil. So, the purpose of bringing oil. And do you know the children? The large petroleum reserves are found on land in Assam, Gujarat, and off the coast of Maharashtra. Do you know the children? The large petroleum reserves are found on land in Assam, Gujarat, and off the coast of Maharashtra. Assam, Gujarat, and off the coast of Maharashtra. Petroleum is a liquid mixture of hydrocarbons. So, it is refined in refineries. So, petroleum is refined in refineries. What do you mean by the refineries? Made pure by removing other substances present in it. We know petroleum is a liquid mixture of hydrocarbons. So, we need to refine the liquid. Oil refineries are found in many places, including Assam, Bihar, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, and Kerala. Assam, Bihar, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, and Kerala. So, in India, oil refineries are found in many places like Assam, Bihar, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, and Kerala. Through this process of refining, we obtain different products such as petrol, diesel, kerosene, cooking gas, etc. So, when we refine the petroleum, we get different products such as petrol, diesel, kerosene, cooking gas, etc. Through this process of refining, we obtain different products such as petrol, diesel, kerosene, cooking gas, etc. So, through this process of refining, we obtain different products such as petrol, diesel, kerosene, cooking gas, etc. Some vehicles such as cars, trucks, trains are run on petrol or diesel, and kerosene is used for cooking and other purposes. So, some vehicles used petrol and diesel. Kerosene is used for cooking and other purposes. Products such as plastics and cosmetics are also made from petroleum. So, plastics and cosmetics are also made from petroleum. Let's see natural gas. Natural gas is also found in some oil wells. Natural gas is mainly used for generating power. It's mainly used for generating power, and it is used as a fuel in cars, buses, etc. And It is used as a fuel in cars, buses, etc. However, the exclusive reserves of natural gas are located along the coast of Tamil Nadu, Odisha, and Andhra Pradesh. So, natural gas located along the coast of Tamil Nadu, Odisha, and Andhra Pradesh. Do you know, children? Our mineral resources are limited and should be used carefully. If we once used, these cannot be replaced. So, our mineral resources are limited and should be used carefully. Once used, these cannot be replaced, and we must also try to use alternative sources of energy such as the sun, wind, and water. So, we must also try to use alternative sources of energy such as the sun, wind, and water. Coal and petrol are together referred to as fossil fuels. Their reserves are limited. So, fossil fuels take thousands of years to form naturally. So, children, coal and petrol are together referred to as fossil fuels. Let's discuss about inexhaustible resources. Inexhaustible resources are renewable resources, the natural resources which are available in plenty in nature, such as air, water, sunlight, etc. They are continuously available on the earth and their quantity is not noticeably affected by human consumption. They are also called renewable resources. So, renewable resources are continuously available on the earth and their quantity is not noticeably affected by human consumption. Let's start with wind. Wind is the movement of air caused by the uneven heating on the earth by the sun and Earth's own rotation. Wind is the movement of air caused by the uneven heating on the earth by the sun and Earth's own rotation. So, moving air is known as wind. Moving air is known as wind. The energy of the wind can be harnessed using windmills. Wind can be harnessed using windmills. So, children, what do you mean by the word windmill? A windmill is a structure that converts wind power into rotational energy. It is a structure that converts wind power into rotational energy. So, a windmill is a type of working engine. It is a type of working engine. So, windmill can be used for processing grains, drying, or pumping water and also used for producing electricity. Next, sun. Children, we know sun is the star in the center of solar system. Sun is a star in the center of the solar system. Sun is just like the stars that you see in the night sky. The sun is the just like the stars that you see in the night sky. It appears so much larger and brighter than the other stars because we are so close to it. The sun is just like the stars that you see in the night sky. It appears so much larger and brighter than the other stars because we are so close to it. It gives off energy as light. It gives off energy as light. The sun, as we have read earlier, is a huge ball of hot gases. The sun's heat is harnessed and used for our benefit in many ways. So, the sun's heat is harnessed. The sun is a huge ball of hot gases and the sun's heat is harnessed and used for our benefit in many ways. So, the sun's heat is harnessed. The sun uses in different ways like using solar cookers and used for cooking and boiling, using solar water heaters and used for heating water, and converted into electricity using solar panels. So children, the sun using solar cookers and used for cooking and boiling, solar water heaters and used for heating water, and converted into electricity using solar panels. Children, let's see water. Water is very important for all living things. We need water for drinking, bathing, cooking, washing, and for growing crops. Water is very important for all living things. We know that 3/4 of Earth's surface is covered with water. 3/4 of Earth's surface is covered with water. But most of this water is salty and not fit for either drinking or cooking. Fresh water, which is used by us, exists in lakes, rivers, streams, and ponds. So, children, 3/4 of the Earth's surface is covered with water, but most of this water is salty and not fit for either drinking or cooking. And fresh water, which is used by us, exists in lakes, rivers, streams, and ponds. And children, our main source of fresh water is rain. Which is the main source of water? Rain. So, our main source of fresh water is rain. In India, farmers depend on the monsoon rains. In India, farmers depend on the monsoon rains for their crops. But rainfall is not uniform throughout India. Some places get a lot of rainfall while other places receive very little rain. Moreover, the monsoons provide rain only for a few months in the year. All living things need water for survive. It is an important natural resource. So, each and every living things need water for survive, and it is an important natural resource. Water is continuously replenished on the earth by rain, and water is needed for drinking, washing, cooking, and irrigation to grow crops. Water from rivers and seas is used to generate electricity. Although water is renewable and groundwater may get exhausted, it is important to note that Although water is renewable sources and groundwater may get exhausted, this may happen if the consumption of groundwater is more than what rain can replenish. As a result, there will be shortage of fresh water in towns and cities, and children. Farmers need water throughout the year to grow crops. Therefore, we need to conserve water by building canals, dams, reservoirs, and tanks. Canals or channels that are dug in the ground to take water from the rivers to the field. In some places, wells are dug to bring groundwater, underground water to the surface. In some places, wells are dug to bring underground water to the surface. When underground water is found very deep below the surface, holes are dug with the help of the machines to reach this water. Then tubes are sunk through these holes. The underground water is brought to the surface through these tubes with the help of an electric or diesel pump. This is called a tube well. So, the underground water is brought to the surface through these tubes with the help of an electric or diesel pump. This is called a tube well. These tube wells are used for irrigation in Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, and Gujarat. So, children, what do you mean by the word irrigation? Irrigation is the artificial application of water to the soil through various systems of tubes, pumps, and sprays. So, the supply of water to land or crops to help growth is called irrigation. It is usually used in areas where rainfall is irregular or dry times. So, it is usually used in areas where rainfall is irregular. And in some places, it is difficult to dig wells. Here, rainwater is stored in tanks and ponds and is later used for agriculture. So, some places we can't dig wells. So, they store the rainwater in tanks and ponds and is later used for agriculture. This is most common in South India because South India is rain fed. That means it's depend on rain. Not only agriculture, power supply also. In a dam, water is made to fall from a height to generate electricity. This is also known as hydroelectricity. So, we can get power supply from hydroelectricity. What do you mean by the word hydro? Connected with water. Because water is used to produce it. Dams also control floods and help in breeding fish. So, water is essential. So, we need to protect water. Why should we conserve water? Water is precious and we should use it carefully. We should not wash clothes, bath, or throw garbage and industrial waste into rivers, lakes, and seas as these pollute the water. People who use polluted water for drinking or cooking suffer from many diseases. We should make efforts to keep water clean and not waste it. So, we should make efforts to keep water clean and not waste it. Do you know, children? Earth is the only planet on which there is water present in liquid form. Earth is the only planet on which there is water present in liquid form. Let's see soil. Soil is an important natural resource. It is the top layer of the earth's surface in which plants and trees grow. So, plants and trees grow on earth's surface, the top layer of earth's surface. So, soil is formed by the breaking up of rocks into smaller pieces due to the action of the sun, rain, and wind. So, the sun heats the rocks and causes them to crack. Sun heats the rocks and causes them to crack. And rain beats against the cracked rocks and causes them to break into smaller pieces. Rain beats against these cracked and them to break into smaller pieces. And fast winds scatter these pieces about. Fast winds scatter these pieces about. All this gradually breaks the rocks down into grains of soil. So, the action of the sun, rain, and wind, soil is formed by the breaking up of rocks into smaller pieces. And fast flowing rivers then carry these grains as silt and deposit them along their banks as they flow towards the sea. The entire process of soil formation takes millions of years. How many years? Millions of years. As rocks contain different chemicals and minerals, the soil formed from these rocks also contains these substances. Soil is the loose uppermost layer on the earth's surface. Plants grow in soil. So, soil is the loose uppermost layer on the earth's surface. They get water and mineral salts from the soil. Since plants make food for all living things, all living things depend on soil for food. And humans depend on the soil for many things. We grow different kinds of cereals, vegetables, and fruits in the soil. We use soil to make building materials such as bricks and cement. And we use clay obtained from soil to make pots and utensils. Human depends on the soil for many things like food, materials for buildings, utensils, etc. So, soil is an important renewable natural resource. Let's do the book exercise. Children, take your book, page number 6868. A. Tick the correct option. Question number 1. Something that is obtained from nature and can be used to satisfy human needs is called a. Something that is obtained from nature and can be used to satisfy human needs is called a. Option A, natural resource. Option B, man-made resource. Option C, renewable resource. So, nature gives some gift to us is called a natural resources. So, the answer is option A, natural resource. Something that is obtained from nature and can be used to satisfy human needs is called a option A, natural resource. 2. Sun's heat is harnessed and converted into electricity using. Sun's heat is harnessed and converted into electricity using option A solar cooker, option B solar water heater, option C solar panel. Solar panel which are used to absorb the sun's rays and convert them into electricity or heat. The answer is solar panel, which are used to absorb the sun's rays and convert them into electricity or heat. Sun's heat is harnessed and converted into electricity using option C solar panel. Third one. Which of the following is an example of exhaustible resources? Which of the following is an example of exhaustible resources? Option A wind, option B coal, option C water. Exhaustible means non-renewable resources. So the answer is option B coal. Which of the following is an example of exhaustible resources? Option B coal. Fourth one. Dash is a yellow to black liquid found under offshore seabeds. Dash is a yellow to black liquids found under offshore seabeds. Option A minerals, option B natural gas, option C crude oil. The answer is option C crude oil. Crude oil means unrefined petroleum. Crude oil means unrefined petroleum. So, crude oil is a yellow to black liquid found under offshore seabeds. Fifth one. Dash is a natural resource continuously renewed on earth by rain. Dash is a natural resource continuously renewed on earth by rain. Option A water, option B petroleum, option C wind. Petroleum, wind also natural resource, but petroleum is a non-renewable resources and wind is not renewed by rain. So the answer is option A water. Water is a natural resource continuously renewed on earth by rain. Page number 69. B. Fill in the blanks. Question number 1. Dash is the topmost layer of the earth's surface in which plants grow. Dash is the topmost layer of the earth's surface in which plants grow. The answer is soil. Soil is the loose uppermost layer on the earth's surface. Soil is the topmost layer of the earth's surface in which plants grow. Second one. Dash and dash are together referred to as fossil fuels. Dash and dash are together referred to as fossil fuels. The answer is coal and petrol. Coal and petrol are together referred to as fossil fuels. Third one. The energy of the wind can be harnessed using a dash. The energy of the wind can be harnessed using a dash. The answer is windmill. Windmill is a structure that converts wind power into rotational energy. So, the energy of the wind can be harnessed using a windmill. Fourth one, petroleum is refined to produce dash and dash, which are most commonly used to run automobiles. Petroleum is refined to produce dash and dash, which are most commonly used to run automobiles. The answer is petrol and diesel. Petroleum is refined to produce petrol and diesel, which are most commonly used to run automobiles. Fifth one, dash provide us with firewood, timber and medicines. Dash provide us with firewood, timber and medicines. The answer is trees. Trees provide us with firewood, timber and medicines.